Hello, good afternoon. Um, I think it's afternoon for almost everyone and evening. I see we have a lot of participants from all over the world. Um, my name is Saranjit Arora. I'm speaking from the European Commission's Open Source Program Office, OSPO, and this is our sixth hackathon. So, welcome to all of you. I'm looking at the list of people. We have people from Austria, Azerbaijan, Belgium, of course, Brazil, Cambodia, France, Germany, Greece, India, Italy, Kenya, Lebanon, Malawi, uh, Mexico, Nepal, Netherlands, Nigeria, Pakistan, Poland, Serbia, Spain, Thailand, Turkey, and the UK. So that's a very wide representation. Welcome to all of you once again. And so this is the NextGov Hackathon, which is basically Nextcloud in the government space. And so that's really where the word comes from. And I think one or two people are here from previous hackathons as well, which is really good news. Welcome to you as well. So you're all here to put up your ideas. We think we have 7 ideas already, and you're going to do some developments and improve and enhance Nextcloud. So that's really good. And I think they've been kind enough to even create a music channel for you, the Tunes channel, so you can hack away and create away with some music behind you. So what we're going to do now is just to introduce you to some people who are going to explain to you about the format for the hackathon. So 2 people in particular, Miguel from the European Commission, and Miguel is the leader of the Open Source Program Office, OSPO, and then Joss from Nextcloud. Okay, so without further ado, I'd like to invite Miguel, our team leader, to explain his perspective. Miguel.
Thanks, Anajit. Hello, everyone. Very happy to with again another event, exciting event. It's always very. We always get a bit nervous, but very happy to have this kind of event. So, like Saranjit said, we welcome you, and it's amazing to see the amount of different nationalities that we have. And thinking before this hackathon, the fact that some of you are not from Europe. Of course, probably you know European Commission, but maybe you don't know exactly what we are and what we do. So just a quick note on that we are the, let's say, the executive branch of the European Union. We are the ones doing the stuff, the new regulations, new laws, new policies, but also we do programs to stimulate the economy or for the environment. So we are like a machinery behind the European Union. And open source is something that more and more has become little by little more relevant in European Commission, to the point that we even published an open source strategy in 2020, where we show the way that the whole organization adopts open source. We want to go into that philosophy of working, of openness, collaboration. And that's a little bit the internal dimension. But with this strategy, we also want to have impact outside the organization, and this is where hackathons come into place, because one of the actions from this strategy is to be closer to the open source communities, to understand, to know who you are, to understand the issues you have, but also the potential that you have, and if possible to support you. And we have different ways to do that. Hackathons is one of them, and that's why we are so happy to do another one. But we have been doing other things like bug bounties or studies. So, and in this case, this one is about Nextcloud. Some of you remember that last year we did one about Jitsi and another one about with Xroad, but we have done previous also with Drupal, with Apache, with PHP. So yeah, it's very nice to see that these things are coming more and more often as part of our program. And yeah, in this case, it's Nextcloud. We are very happy to be partnering with us in this hackathon. It's about, we like to touch on the point about digital sovereignty, but we can also, because it's about having control on your data, and at the end what we want is just freedom of choice. Like, okay, you we are not going against either commercial solutions, but at least we want that if a specific school or a public administration, they want to know how the code is made, if they want to know how the data are used, that at least they have this choice to say, okay, I prefer open source. So that's at the end, I think the ultimate objective of this hackathon is to improve Nextcloud, which was already being used, extensively used in Europe and outside Europe, and just to make it more suitable, more complete, better, so that we can facilitate this choice. Because I think we think that still many organizations, they still go for commercial solutions because they have no more choices. So we want to break these rules. We want to give this freedom, and that's we are so happy and so excited to have this hackathon. So that's my point, the point of view from Commission. Saranjit, I pass it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miguel. That was a very comprehensive explanation of the background and of the Commission. Thank you so much. Okay, so I would like to now invite Joss, who is a senior member of the Nextcloud team, and I would invite him to give us a little background of Nextcloud, the journey so far, and where they want to go, and what you expect specifically from this hackathon, Joss. Over to you.
All right. Hello, everybody. Really cool that we're doing this hackathon. Thanks to the EU, to Mikael and Saranjit and everybody else who's been involved in organizing it. I'm seriously happy with it. I think it's really nice that the EU is supporting open source projects like Nextcloud, that the EU cares about digital sovereignty and the control people have over their systems, both for private, but also, of course, for government themselves. I think it's really exciting that we get a chance to get all together to improve Nextcloud, making it more useful for everybody, right? Because that's kind of the benefit of open source. If you make an improvement once, as long as the project exists and is maintained and people care, then the results benefit everybody. So let me talk for a minute about Nextcloud. I think most of you are kind of familiar with it, but for those who are not very familiar, in very short, we are a content collaboration platform. That's a lot of fancy words for essentially a, the content part is like, documents, calendar, contact, email, chat. So these are all things you can handle on Nextcloud. The collaboration, I think, is reasonably obvious. That's where the chat and the video calls and other features are very important, of course, and commenting on files. And the platform is that Nextcloud is an application platform. So there's about 200-300 different Nextcloud apps that all together form the Nextcloud platform. And so this whole is really meant as a way to have a place where you as a team of people or as an individual can work with other people or alone. I know that sounds like it does everything in the kitchen sink, but let me give a couple of examples. Like the core of Nextcloud is to exchange documents and work on them. So with Nextcloud Office, you can edit them alone or with other people in the browser. You can download your files via sync client or access them from your mobile phone with Android and iOS clients. You can comment on files. You can share them in a chat room, have a video call with them, with other people to discuss what you're working on. You can attach them to a task in Deck, which is our task management app. You can link to them from the knowledge base. So it's basically everything you need as a basic day-to-day business. But of course, a lot of people use it privately because Nextcloud has things like automatically uploading your photos to your Nextcloud. So if you took photos, with your Android, then they get uploaded and you can share your holiday pictures with your family. And the nice thing is, it's not standing at a foreign, software as a service company, but you can run it on your own server. And that's, of course, helpful for home users, right? For private use who want to be in control over the data and know who has access to it. But it's also very important for government and for businesses that they know that there's this control over the data that they have. And this is, of course, well, kind of the challenge also why we started Nextcloud already a long time ago, with the goal to give people this control over their data. And that's why we did it. And that's also why we started as an open source project, because you don't have control over your data if you don't know what the code that's handling it is doing. And we can't control what that code is doing. And if there's no transparency in the algorithms, etc. This is, of course, well, a big part of like, well, where the issues are currently when it comes to digital sovereignty and privacy and everything. So I think that gives a bit of a big picture overview of Nextcloud. Now, of course, where are, well, all of you relevant? Well, as I said, Nextcloud is both an open source project and an app platform. So as an app platform, that means there are all these apps for Nextcloud. And what we're hoping to do with this hackathon is to, what we've done is we made like a list of specific issues, specific challenges, where we say, hey, this is something that could be improved in Nextcloud, and where we're hoping, well, all of you can help with. So it is in theory possible to build a completely new app. And we don't really oppose that per se. But the thing with apps is, of course, they need to maintain. Otherwise, they're not terribly useful. So if you're already active in Nextcloud and you've been maybe even maintaining an app, then of course, that's not such a big deal. You might be happy to maintain a second app. But if you're new and you want to make a one-time contribution and make sure that what you contribute stays around, then of course it is easier to improve an existing app. So that's where we hoped we could all focus on to improve the existing tools and applications for Nextcloud. So maybe Saranjit, I should really move on to talking a little bit more about the challenges themselves.
Yes. So thank you, Joss. That was a really good explanation about Nextcloud. And you can see that it scales from a single user to small, medium-sized companies, and then all the way to enterprise companies. I think looking at the space of software providers for cloud and productivity tools, collaboration tools, Nextcloud is certainly one of the more popular ones in the open source world. And a lot of people rely on it on a daily basis to run their lives. So really, thank you very much for the service you're providing to the open source community. And you often don't get that thank you. So I think all of us here, including the participants, are very grateful to Nextcloud. And so we are happy to host you. Now, I think it's exciting for you to tell us a little bit about the challenges that people have put forward. And also, after that, perhaps you could introduce some of the mentors, and maybe we can have a little discussion after the challenges. Go ahead, Joss.
All right. So as I mentioned, like we tried to focus a bit with the challenges on improving existing apps, but we definitely want you not to be limited to these, because there are many other apps for Nextcloud and many other things that can be improved. I'm sure if you use Nextcloud or have tried it, you will have many ideas already about that. So the first one that I want to go through, I will just go through the ones that are on the website at nextgov-hackathon.eu. Saranjit, I could do a screen share. Is that a good idea? Maybe make it a bit more.
Try. Yeah, you can try, Joss.
Yeah. All right. Then let me see if I can pull that off. Yeah. So everybody can see this?
I do.
Excellent. So, I'm just looking here at the website, nextgov-hackathon.eu, and so the first thing that we thought about was the Deck app. So Deck is like a Kanban project management app. It's meant to be, relatively lightweight and not to replace like big things like Open Project, for example, but more, for smaller teams to work together and for, kind of shorter term projects. But still, I mean, we ourselves already bump into this, that there are a couple of concepts that would really make DEC a lot more useful. And one of these are dependencies. So right now you can make cards and tasks and put them in, but you cannot put dependencies. So a task will not, depend on another, cannot visually depend on another task. And it will be very, very useful to add this, because then you can really plan out projects where you have like multiple parallel things, and where you're trying to figure out, what is like the critical path, what are the most critical tasks that need to be done because they block other things. For that, dependencies would be, really helpful. There is an issue open for this, and what would be needed to go into this is that a proposal would need to be made that kind of says, okay, this is what it should look like on the visual side, and this is how it should be in the database. We probably need to extend like the database table with the cards, with a dependency item that can link to the other cards. I don't know the exact details here, but this is something that can be looked at then. And then, then you would be able to get to work. Now, of course, once you have dependencies, a next step could be Gantt charts, because these are these charts that allow you to really visualize these dependencies between different tasks. I think a lot of projects will really benefit from having this view. Now, a developer put together a piece of code that essentially allows you to turn a DEC board into a Gantt chart already. So this is the output of this. They made an online demo even, and then it comes out with this. But it's pure date-based, right? Because there are no dependencies. So that's one of the things that would really be nice to add. And you can definitely look at this code, of course. It's kind of a test version that hasn't really been fully, finished. And what really is needed, of course, is that this integrates in DEC, and that you have it maybe as a separate view, if possible, that you can choose to look at it this way or another way. And then the last but not least, what we thought of as an idea for DEC was an import for Trello. So again, somebody already built an import for Trello, but it's a script, so that would need a user interface. And there are a couple of like features, basic features, some of them important, some of them less so. For example, there's a feature in Trello where you can set a background for a board and a picture or a color. I personally don't think that this is a high priority, but it would get lost when you import it to DEC right now. And there are a couple of other features. Some of them are a bit more important, and it would be, I think, helpful to have support for those. So I thought the idea behind this would be that you implement a couple of these basic features, and then work on this Trello import so that they get, that you import also these properties into DEC. But of course, if you're a DEC user especially, you might have other ideas on what to improve on DEC. So the second that we looked at was improvements to Nextcloud Talk. That's our audio, video, and chat app. I think of Microsoft Teams or Slack and Zoom in one. There are a couple of improvements that would be really nice to have. Now, actually, the main thing here would be reactions and video calls, because in chat, we actually recently introduced this. But during a call, there is currently the option to raise your hand, but you can't do this thing of like applause or laugh or other emojis, and that would be pretty cool to have. I don't really know how complicated this will be. Maybe it's simple, and you need to come up with a few more things to improve and talk. Well, there's, lots of stuff that I'm sure can be added to a chat application. And we're currently finalizing Nextcloud 24 with, of course, new features and all these apps. So if you start working on it, you should definitely have a look at what's coming and then build your stuff on top of that, which is nice, because in terms of like release cycle, that means you really are ready for the upcoming, or well, not for the next release, but the one after that, right? Because we've already branched off, like most of our developers have already branched off the apps. So they're working on, or starting to work on, the next version of the app. So this is the right time to get involved and to add your features to them. Now, it's the same thing. It's also true for the calendar app. there we had one idea, which is, so there's this appointment feature in Calendar app where you can book an appointment, and this allows you, as like the person whose calendar it is, you can set a number of times you can like pick from a calendar kind of view, that you pick times, say, okay, you know, every week on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, I'm available between 1 and 4 for people to book a meeting with me. And then, you know, NextGov calendar then can create a page where people can then book in these meetings. So you can say like, okay, the meeting needs to be an hour at most. I need half an hour between 2 meetings. I can have only 2 meetings per day, like this kind of stuff. And so this is cool, but it is really for like these recurring meetings. But now I personally, I don't have a lot of things where regularly people need to book meetings with me about a certain subject, but it's more that I don't know, I have a call with like the people for the NextGov Hackathon, and they say, hey, can we book a meeting? Do you have time this week? And what I would like to do is I send them a link where they can then all book one open slot in my calendar. Of course, I define like, okay, it needs to be A, open in my calendar, and B, it needs to be, I don't know, on Wednesday or Thursday or something, you know? And then I send the link, and then they can book one meeting. And then that maybe I should summarize the calendar one where, so we have not this appointment booking meeting, but what I personally and many others I think are looking for is a way that you can create one link where people can book a meeting with you on that link. And after that, it's one use, you know, not a recurring meeting. And that it then appears in your calendar, and, you know, you can of course still check it and remove it. This would be a really nice feature, but there are other features for the calendar app that, you know, maybe you find interesting. And the last app that we looked at and had some ideas for improvements was the Photos app. There's a lot of stuff in the Photos app that could be improved. I just looked at a few ideas, for example, that you can add descriptions to photos, or allow users to upload files from the Photos app. Also sorting videos and photos by name. There are many smaller ones as well, searching by date and other, you know, advanced properties, the ability to comment on photos, etc. And a lot of these things are probably, you know, already pieces for that in Nextcloud. For example, with photos, like you have a comment in the sidebar in Nextcloud, so it should be possible to extend that to the Photos app, so that people can comment on a photo, for example. So that was the last of the apps where we looked and came up with some ideas in advance. But really, there are 200-300 apps for Nextcloud. And if you have ideas on how to improve features in another app, then that's of course 100% welcome. So please, you know, consider doing that. I think that gives an idea of the different, apps that are that we hope, the different challenges that we hope people can pick up.
Thank you very much. Now, I understand, Jos, that people can still add some more challenges of their own. So you don't have to just work on these. You can have your own challenges, your own ideas.
Exactly.
But it would be good to. I mean, do you have a view on that, Jos, or do you think?
In general, as I said, like there are many other features in existing apps where people can do improvements. And if you have a good idea, maybe because you're using an app, or you have a feature that you use in another application in an app like that, and you think that would be a good fit, then that would of course be super welcome. We really look forward to such ideas as well. If everybody's doing the same 3 ideas, then it's a lot less interesting, I would say, than when people come with their own ideas.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you very much. That was really comprehensive. And apologies to everyone for the break in live stream, but I think we're back up again. So now, I believe we have some mentors in case you get stuck on any Nextcloud related issue. There are people you can speak with. Jos, would you like to introduce them?
Yeah, so what we wanted to do, we didn't really plan on having dedicated mentors because we have a lot of really cool people in the Nextcloud community, including community volunteers. And we wanted rather to connect all of you as hackathon participants to our wider community rather than to just 4 or 5 specific mentors. So that's why we invite all of you to our community chat where you can ask questions as well as on our forums. But we still asked if a couple of people from the Nextcloud community, a couple of our developers wanted to introduce themselves. And, we have 3 of them who joined here. Thanks for joining, you 3. And yeah, maybe introduce yourself. For me, it's like Carl is left, Andy on the right. So that seems to be a fair order.
Sure. Take it away, Carl.
Okay, so yeah, my name is Carl. I'm working since almost 1 year on Nextcloud itself. But before that, I did also a lot of other open source work on other projects like KDE. And yeah, if you have questions about the files app or the server repo or the core of the Nextcloud, you can ask me. I will be happy to answer your questions.
Okay, that's great. Next person.
Anna?
Yeah, hi, my name is Anna. I've been with the Groupware team for a bit over a year now. I work on calendar, so if you have questions about the original appointments feature or about how to integrate it with CalDAV, which is the backend we're working with, just let me know in the community chat.
Great. Thank you, Anna. Who's the next person, Josh?
Andy?
That's me then, I guess. Yeah. Hi, Andy. I'm actually a manager by day and the coder by night. So I'm kind of with Nextcloud since day one, but rather the community contributor for more than 6 years now. And recently, last year, joined in a management position. So I basically know everybody around engineering, who to ping if you have a question for, let's say, a specific topic, because not everybody can answer every question, of course. Like Anna mentioned, she works mainly in the field of groupware, and Carl is focused on files. But you also heard about Talk and Deck. So there are various areas throughout the whole ecosystem. So yeah, whenever you ping us on the forum or our chat system, if you can find anybody who can help you, then I'll be the one who can. With one exception, if you have a question about our Android apps, because that's what I do at night, then I'd also be able to actually answer it.
Yeah, that's a good point. We didn't really talk about the Android, iOS clients and the desktop client, but hey, if C++ or Objective-C or Java are your thing, then of course we would also very much welcome improvements to those apps.
Great, great. That's really some real experts from the actual project team. This is really, really a great privilege to have access to you, I'm sure, for the whole community. So Josh, how can people get in touch specifically with with these mentors? What's the way, the channel?
Yeah, so the main thing will be the forums and the chat channel. So we have on help.nextcloud.com, we have a developer forum where you can ask questions. And the nice thing there is that the forum, it's discourse, and it really helps you search also for questions that might have been answered before. So I would suggest to look there first, because you might simply already find the answer to your question. And after that, well, you can either post it there or ask in the chat, or both, of course, if you don't get a reply there. So we put in the documentation on the website links to those. We can also just go to nextcloud.com/developer. And if you scroll down a little bit there is a how to get help section where you have links to this as well.
Great, great. Thank you very much. I think now that actually takes us right to the next step, where we're going to invite Michaela from Nextcloud, and she's going to explain to us a little bit about how you can organize yourselves as a team or individuals and various other resources. And then we'll have Miguel tell us a little bit more about the rules and regulations of the of the actual hackathon itself. And so, Michaela, welcome, and over to you.
Great. Hello, everyone. I'm Michaela from Nextcloud. And yeah, so I will share my screen so I can share with you a bit more information that will be helpful to you. Okay, I'm assuming you can see?
It's coming up now.
Yep.
Yes, we can see it now. Thank you, Michaela.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, great. So you can register on our page on Event Tornado. We have our NextGov Hackathon page here with all the information you would need. So today, April 25th, is the official start date of the hackathon. But the good news is that you can still register today and throughout the week, and actually until next Monday. Technically, you can still join. So yeah, that's good news for anyone that wants to join a little last minute or is still thinking about it. There's definitely still time, and we would love to have you. So next on our timeline is a first checkpoint session, and this will be on Wednesday, the April 27th at 4 p.m. And these checkpoint sessions are really to help you if you need to talk to experts or our mentors. You'll be able to like speak to people at these times. These are dedicated times for you to get help. And so we have two of them. Our second checkpoint session is on Friday, April 29th, again at 4 p.m. And then lastly, we will have our closing session May 2nd. And then we begin our week-long evaluation. So we take a whole week to take in the projects and to see what everyone contributed, and we review everything. And then finally, on May 10th, we have our award ceremony where we will be announcing the winners and distributing the prizes and the prize money. So you'll have to stay tuned all the way until the end. So that's basically the timeline for our whole hackathon.
Okay.
Sorry?
No, that's great. Thank you. That's very clear to everyone.
Great. And yes, you can always see this on our page. You just need to go to the link above. So yeah, if you are still looking to register, you can join a team, you can start a team, or you can go solo. So the option is up to you, and then just register yourself. And also we would like you to get familiar with Nextcloud if you've never used it before or you're not familiar. And so from here you can go to our all you need to know section, and we have our starter kit here that you can download. Just explains kind of what we're going over in our video today. And then we also have tried to give you lots of resources that will be helpful to you. So here you will find a list of available tools, developer manual, introduction to app development, anything you might need is all there. And there's even a link here. This is what Jos was talking about. So I'll just quickly go here, our developer page on Nextcloud. And so here you will find all the information you need. And what he was saying, this is the need help part. So here you can click to go to our forums. Here I can just open it quickly.
For me, it's frozen.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes, but that's okay. I think people know that if they click all you need to know, then you can see everything. Right?
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. I just wanted to give a visual, but it's pretty easy to find. Just go to nextcloud.com/developer and you can go to our forums and the developer chat that Jos mentioned earlier.
Excellent.
So, yeah, is there anything else, Jos or Miguel? Any other specific resources you want me to point out?
I think for the moment we're okay because your screen sharing is not
Yeah.
I mean, you could try again if you like, but
No, I think Michaela was sharing a tab probably, and maybe she was moving to other tabs, and that's why we couldn't see them. But that's okay. And as Anajit say, I think we participants, they can go to that link, and in case of any questions, we are here to help.
Indeed. Over to you, Miguel, if you could kindly take over the next 2 points.
Yeah. We wanted to talk also about the criteria about evaluation is what we will look, or the jury will look when you submit your proposals. The first thing is the completeness of what you propose. We will always give more points to something that is developed from A to Z. End to end is a complete solution rather than something partial. Of course, if you don't have time, that's it. Do not be limited by that, but just to let you know that the completeness is something that we take into account when we evaluate a proposal. The next one is more the quality of the things you do in terms of documentation, the code, also how well structured it is, all the comments, the how to deploy it, the quality of the job you do. Again, the more clear it is, the better structure it is, the more points you will get. Then another point is we always have a factor of originality, uniqueness. And especially Josh, I know he likes that we are open to ideas, new things that might be interesting. So the more original, it will give you more points as well. And the last one is sustainability. So if we have to put that into the code base, how easy it is to integrate. It's a bit related to the quality as well, but how easy is to sustain that solution. So that's another criteria that we will take into account. And talking about the criteria, as you know, we have the cash prizes, but we also will give swag bags, so goodies, so a backpack, a Mac. I don't remember now the details. You need to have a minimum score to get that, just to make sure that if we give you something, is because you have tried at least to do something valuable. So just to let you know that if you want to be eligible for the swag bags, you need to do something. There will be a minimum criteria. That's the reason. Now, something that was mentioned in Michaela before about the checkpoint meetings. I think at some point we mentioned that there are like intermediate deliveries, like by Wednesday you need to submit a description. Then by Friday there was another element that need to be submitted. I mean, if you don't get it, if you don't manage to get something delivered by that date, is you are still in. You can continue. But if at some point when we are evaluating, we are comparing two solutions that are close in terms of scoring, we will take that timing element as a factor for the evaluation. So just to let you know that, try to respect the timelines if you can. If not, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. So Miguel, I wanted to ask you one question. Michaela was saying that people can join even until a minute before closing.
Yes.
What would be the point of that? Why would somebody join so late? They certainly won't be able to get a swag bag.
No, but still, I mean, you have great idea generators like Floris, who was also from the CEST Hackathon, and it could happen that the last day you need still a developer that wants to help you to get that, give that final boost. So yes, so you are people are still able to register 1 minute before. We understand that that's the team leader will take responsibility of that. We understand that if they join the last minute, it's because they have been already collaborating. So that's why we accept registrations till the end for that last minute help that you might need in your team.
Right. That's very useful for the team to know that they can bring in other resources if they need them. That's really good news. Great.
And I think that I mentioned more or less the important points. Of course, there is the code of conduct and all those things, but I don't think we need to go through that in this event. So, but again, any questions, feel free to ask. We are here to help you.
Yes. So I guess there are two types of questions. One are about the competition, the hackathon, and then second are technical ones. And I think there are two different channels for that. And it might be a good idea now to, if you're finished, Miguel, we can invite Creative District to explain about the platform, and so that people can become familiar with it.
Absolutely.
You done? Okay. Thank you very much, Miguel. And thank you very much, Joss. And thank you, Michaela. And thank you for all the mentors, for Carl, Anna, and Andy for explaining things. Okay, so on this note, I'd like to invite Creative District. I think we have two gentlemen from there, Michelle and Hugo. Over to you, Michelle.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Saranjit. Thank you, Miguel. All right, let me share my screen. Some of you already spoke with me directly on the platform. I hope that you can see it. And as you can see here, I'm going to explain to you how to leverage it today. Basically, we have on the left here the chat in which we have several channels. The first one that you should see is the general one where you can put whatever question you have there. But as Saranjit was mentioning, we have also created free support dedicated channels. The first one is the hackathon related questions. And here, basically, you can go in this channel and drop your question in case, for example, you would like to ask how to participate individually to the hackathon, how can I join the first checkpoint session, and so on. Then we have the Nextcloud code related question channel, and here you have all the references to join and request support from the Nextcloud people. And then we have the announcement channel. Here it's read-only channel, so please stay here to read this channel, basically to understand when an opening session starts, when a live session starts, and so on. So here we're going to give you some important information. And then also we have the platform support channel, which is the channel in which you should ask for some question about how to leverage this platform, which I'm going to explain to you right now. So basically, here in this platform, what you have to do if you want to participate right now, or maybe if you're watching the recording of this video, it is very simple. You click on post idea here, you choose one of the topics that you would like to participate in, provide the name of your idea. For example, I'm going to provide here the name of my idea. You should also provide a description of your idea, maximum 300 words. And you can also skip this part. I'm going to explain to you later, but this is the place where later you have to submit all of your work that you're doing during the hackathon. Then you can name your team, of course, and you can click on submit. So once you click on submit, of course, you're going to receive an email. And here a new tab appears. This is your My Idea tab. What can you do in this tab? Basically, you can invite other team members. It's very easy. You click here on the button and invite them by email, also suggesting the role that they should have in your team. But also when it's time, you should edit your idea here. And this is the place now where you can upload the deliverable one, which is the page summary, the slide presentation, which is deliverable 2. And these are the two mandatory fields. But then also you can also post your repository code if you want, or maybe a 90 seconds video pitch explaining your work that you've done during the hackathon and so on. If I go back to the event chat, now here, as you can see, a new team has been created. This is my private team where I can communicate with my team members. And here you can start a call with them directly here. So the client is Jitsi in this case. So the video conferencing tool is Jitsi. But you can also drag and drop files. You can communicate with your team members. You can share whatever you want. So this is your private space to communicate with your team members. And then in case you don't have a team member, but you would like maybe to find someone to join this hackathon with you, then you can go to the Find Your Team channel here and drop a description of your experience, background, your preferred topic, so people can get to know you, contact you, and maybe form a team together, which you can do exactly as explained before. Here we have the ideas tab, and here, as you can see, we have all the ideas that submitted so far something. So basically here you can explore everyone, you can meet all the members, they're in, they read their idea and so on. But what is private in this idea? So basically whatever you submit as an attachment, so all the deliverables of this hackathon will be visible only by you. So don't worry to post them now. You can always edit them until 1 second before the hackathon ends. Please don't do it before 1 second. Maybe do it 10 minutes before. But yeah, this is basically it's a private space for you to submit your milestones. Now we had a very important question from some participants before. How can I submit multiple ideas? So this can be done in this platform. Was built to have one participant with one idea with one team. So this means that in this case, for this specific hackathon, maybe in the future we'll change this, but for this specific hackathon, you need to create multiple accounts and then post multiple ideas. So basically you can use still your name to create, I don't know, 7 ideas with your name, with 7 different name ideas, with 7 different team names, but with different emails. So you will have to use different emails to do that. So this is basically what we are suggesting here. We have taken into account your consideration, which is really good. So basically in the future, in the next month, we will be able also to provide you with this chance to create multiple ideas with just one user. Now, maybe, Michaela, I can show now the All You Need to Know tab. So here you have all the references, the starter kit, you can download it here. All the tools from Nextcloud, you can have it here. So this is the tab referring before. And I think this is basically it. The last thing that I would like to tell you is that some of you already sent me a direct message. I will be there for the whole duration of the hackathon. So if you want to contact me directly, you can tag me here, search for my name in the general channel or maybe in some support channel, and I will see the message. The other option is that you write me a direct message here. With this button, you click on direct message, you search for my name, and then you can start create a new conversation with me. Maybe I didn't cover everything in this call because we don't have so much time. So please write me a direct message if you have a doubt or whatever, and we will help you. No problem with that.
Yeah, Michele, I would like to add something to what you say, and it's referring to our proposal for to submit more than one idea. We know it's not ideal. We apologize for that, but yeah, I mean, it's if you see some issues to do that, let us know, and then we will try to see what workaround we can find. But the idea would be this: to you have different email addresses. I know it's not ideal, but hopefully this can work for you, and for sure we will try to improve that next time. So we apologize for this, but I hope that it's not a big issue for you. Otherwise, let us know.
We have a workaround. So
yeah,
open source people are used to finding a way through. So that's good. Okay, I think now, thank you very much. Michelle, you're done with the explanation, right? Okay, so.
Yes, thanks.
Great, so I think we are done. Now we'd like to invite you all to ask some questions. Obviously today is just the start, but you're welcome to ask questions all the way through. But if there's anything we can help you with now, any questions to the people present at the moment, feel free to post your question on the YouTube, chat. Okay, Anna tells us we have a question. How to add one idea? Okay, I think we just Okay, you don't see me. Thank you for reminding me. I've just opened my camera. Okay. So I think the how to add one idea has already been helped. We have shown by
More than
Michelle.
one idea. More than one idea. Yes, it's
No, the question was how to add one idea.
yeah. But I think it was misread because in the I think it was Christian who said
Okay,
how to add more than one idea.
right.
And yes, this is what Mikel.
So we just discussed that. I mean, one solution is to create another email ID, right?
yes,
And just submit the second idea through the different email ID, and just let us know that you're the same person, okay? And so that we are aware of that. That's a good workaround at the moment. Okay. Anybody else? Any more questions?
If we don't have any more questions, maybe they will come after. I would like to add on top what I said before, that we do understand that if you, for example, have 6 ideas and you have to register with 6 different emails, then you will have to manage 6 different Event Tornado platforms. So to avoid this, we suggest you getting in touch with me so we can help you create the best environment for you to use just one URL. You can open just one Event Tornado, but you can also chat with all the other team members if you have different ones. So just contact me and I will tell you how to do it. We will create a private channel for you. So we will try to facilitate this and make your work as best as possible so you can focus on the hackathon. That's it.
Great. Okay, that's an even better idea. Great, thank you, Michelle. Any more questions? Okay, so I think since we don't have any more questions, I'd like to take this opportunity once again. Wait, yes, you do need to upload some kind of document. We have another question. I think when Michelle went through the introduction, he showed you that you have to upload a document, a link to the code, and various other things. So what I suggest is you go through the website and just go through it and then understand it. And if you still have a lack of clarity, then we will take you through it.
And by the way, these templates, these documents, well, we have some that you can use. These are just templates for you in case you want to use them. You can use your own format. You are not obliged.
There we go. That's really helpful, Miguel.
We will propose.
Yeah. So I think so. There are templates. Just to reiterate, where the structure is already there, you just fill in your information. So you don't have to think what kind of document these guys need. Okay, that's really useful. And where can they find these templates, Miguel?
Sorry, there was a small interruption.
Where can they find these templates?
I think they are in Nextcloud precisely.
Okay.
The link is.
Ask if you don't find it, ask us on the channel.
It is everything on the starter. Also in the document that you can find the All You Need to Know tab. So in the starter kit there, you find the templates. But also when you click on My Idea that you would like to fill in, for example, deliverable 1 or deliverable 2, you have the link there to the Nextcloud to download the file. So don't worry about that.
Okay, great. Any other questions?
There was one, but Anna replied it already about contacting the easy mentors. And yes, in our case, you can use the Rocket Chat that it's in the Event Tornado platform. So yes. yeah, you can contact us at any time.
Yeah.
I know I was just checking the messages if there was something else. So yes, you can contact us via the regular channels in the platform.
Great. So first of all, again, thank you all to all the participants. I think we have a good number now. It's going to be very exciting, and we're all going to be surprised with what happens in a week. some very, very useful features have come out in previous hackathons. So thank you very much for your time and dedication. And thank you to the Nextcloud team. Really, there's quite a lot of you here supporting. So thanks a lot. And thank you to the organizing team on our end, Tipe, Creative District, and of course, Anna and Miguel. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye all.
Bye. Happy hacking.